Okay, today let's talk about how to properly use first as an adverb. Okay, so what do I mean by using first as an adverb? Well, when you're using first, usually to modify some kind of a verb. For example, when you're saying something like, do this first, and then do that. Or, I will go first, and then you follow along, something along those lines. Okay, so then when would you use first as an adverb to modify some kind of a verb? Let's take a look into the big two typical situations. Number one, when there are multiple things to do, therefore the focus is on what to do first. For example, when you're saying something like, I will first do the dishes, take out the trash, and then clean my room. Okay, situation number two is when there are multiple doers who are doing something. Therefore, the focus is on who will do it first. For example, when me and my friend and I are at a cafe, we both have to order. It's about who will order first. Yes, we're talking about one thing to do, which is to order. But let's say I need some more time to think about what I want. So I'm going to tell my friend, hey, you order first. So, yes, that's what I mean by when there are multiple doers doing one thing, therefore the focus is on who will do it first. Okay, so as you can see, you are given typically three options as first to use as an adverb. Of course, there are more versions, but today I will exclude all the extreme versions. The extreme versions that are not almost never used in conversational colloquial Korean. They are only used in different formats of Korean, such as textbook poetic Korean, or soldier Korean, or professional/business Korean, or playful Korean. Okay, so if we were to exclude all the extreme versions, once again, you are left with the big three. 먼저, 우선, and 일단. Okay, so in situation number one, when there are multiple things to do, therefore the focus is on what to do first, then yes, you have three options. 먼저, 우선, 일단. However, in situation number two, you can only use 먼저. Okay, so there's a functional difference, right? Okay, well then, let's focus on situation number one for a little bit. Is there no difference between the three in the first situation? No, this time there's a little bit of a difference in nuance. Okay, so 먼저 and 우선, first, there is no stark difference between the two when it comes to nuance. So a lot of times, yes, it literally just comes down to habit. Oh, you like saying 먼저? Well, I like saying 우선. However, 일단 is a little bit different. It is a little bit unique and specific when it comes to the nuance that it conveys. So, 일단 automatically conveys the nuance of, yes, the doer knowing what to do first, but not exactly knowing what step number 2, 3, or 4 looks like just yet. So, in other words, when the speaker is giving off the nuance of saying, let's do this first. Now, there will be step number 2, 3, and 4, but I don't know exactly what the process will look like just yet. So let's just do this first and then think about it, and then let's see how things pan out. Okay, so what if you are not aware of this concept, the difference in nuance? Let's talk about a misunderstanding that could happen. So let's say we are in a zombie apocalypse. So myself, me, and a couple of other people are running away from zombies. We are being chased down, and we find an open door. We find an empty building, so we run away into the building. So let's say I tell everyone else, hey, everyone, let's first close and lock the door. Okay, so let's say I thought I can just use any version I want and there is no difference. So let's say I used 먼저. For example, let's say I say, hey everyone, let's 먼저 close and lock the door. Okay, so if I do that, what could happen, not always, but what could happen because of the nuance that I gave off, now people could close and lock the door and then look at me. They could look at me and say, okay, what next? Please guide us. Now, if they do that, I could be super baffled, right? Because I could say, huh? What are you looking at me for? I don't know what to do next. Yeah, we'll have to do something, but of course I don't know what to do. I just said let's first close and lock the door, and then let's think about it. So I don't have a methodically planned out system in my mind. Okay, so then the people could say, well, then why did you make it sound like you have a plan, a step number 2, 3, 4 planned out? And I could be once again confused and baffled. I can say, oh, when did I say that? When did I say I have the whole process planned out? Now the people could say, well, then use this version. Why did you use 먼저 then? Okay, so that's what I mean by whenever I say, yes, misunderstandings don't come from wrong translations. They come from correct translations, but when that correct translation is giving off the wrong nuance. Because, once again, translation-wise, there's nothing wrong. It's just first. Let's first close and lock the door. But the misunderstanding came from nuance. Okay, so also let's talk about another situation in which a misunderstanding could take place. So let's this time go to, yes, situation number 2, because previously we were talking about situation number 1, because we were saying let's first lock and close the door, and then we'll have to figure out something to escape from these zombies. Okay, this time let's go to situation number 2. So this time, let's say, yes, the focus is on who will do it first. We're just talking about one thing to do. Let's say there's a hallway, but it's very narrow. So, yes, I'm trying to go through this hallway, but there's another stranger here. I have never met this person before. So, I just want to be polite and say, oh, please, you go first. I'm not in a hurry. You go first. So, we both have to go through this hallway. The focus is on who will go first. But let's say I was not aware of the functional difference between the three. So let's say I used 우선 or 일단 that cannot be used in situation number 2. Now, then, this stranger that I'm talking to, well, could be very confused or even scared, right? Because now it sounds like I'm saying, oh, you first go through this hallway, and then you'll have to do this, and then this. Okay, so the stranger could be confused. So thinking, huh? You don't know me. We just met in this hallway. How do you know that I have to go through the hallway and then do something and then do something next specifically? And even if I do have things to do, are you like gonna watch me do it? Are you gonna follow me and watch me? Okay, so that's what I always mean by, yes, misunderstandings don't come from wrong translations, they come from correct translations, but when that correct translation is giving off the wrong nuance. Okay, so always be aware of the functional difference between situation number 1 and 2, and the nuance difference between the 3 that can be used in situation number 1.